can hit it.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Why, hello, and welcome to the My Whiskey Den Shopping Network. Today we're going to be talking about special glasses. I have a few of those. I can find one of those right now. I think I have one hidden under here. But thank you everyone for stopping in to My Whiskey Den tonight. Your favorite place for craft. Today sucks. I've had a shitty day. I'm lucky I'm
Malwedge.
All right. So welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. Sorry, everyone. I am off my game. I am just happy to be here. But I am here with my favorite friend, Mike, who is going to tell us all about what to do at this moment before we go a second further, because we're going to forget. I will.
I feel like we should record Kevin doing this.
So
we can. So anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, interact with the nice people in the chat if you're watching us live. Comment down below if you're watching this after the fact, and leave some feedback. We'd like to hear it.
We do. And I know I'm going to mention one or two things that we mentioned before. Our friend Matt Bay did not move on to the next stage of things. But you know what? Hey, go give him a shout out. Give him a hey, how's it going? He actually did surprisingly well for knocking out people who had a significant amount of followers. And I still want to see results where it's votes versus paid donations.
Yes.
That's all I want to see. That's all. But
I'm hoping there's like a, like with other competitions where there's somebody that someone gets to pull a save on, Not that there's other people that don't deserve it, but I really think Matt deserves it.
Yeah, we agree. And if you haven't bought your tickets to Distill America, I'm going to flash that up there again. May 14th. Outdoors, 90 distilleries, all sorts of spirits. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Tonight we're talking about online whiskey stuff. What stores to buy from, what not to, what to expect. Are there horror stories?
Yeah.
There could be. And hell, are we going to get our third, the three amigos, or is that dude just blaming this computer? So
he's got some spinning wheels going on there that he's trying to combat.
So if you can get a hold of Ben, just razz him right now. Text him, message him, blow up his phone right now, and just do it.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for being in the chat this evening. I see Hernita was dealing with some popcorn ceilings. You do need a drink this evening, if that's the case.
Yes.
Horrible. Good to see Tim, John, Dave, Emily. Nice to see all you guys in the chat early. Now, I might yield my time, Mike. I know you have a little bit more experience in the online whiskey buying world. Plus, I know you put in all the stuff for this evening. So, do you want to kick off the show?
Yeah. Because and all the places that I'll show links. And honestly, if you guys have links and you want to share them, obviously, sometimes you don't want to, but if you do have some links you want to share, please put them on there for people.
Yeah.
All the places that I'll give links to, I have used. I do have feedback on them. One thing I think is very important to stress, and I know we put this in the show thing, but you should absolutely 100% try to find this stuff locally. They might be able to help you at the local liquor store. If you ask, you might help a distillery like our good buddy Gary. They've got really good representation on his side of the state, central side of the state. And if I cross the state line into Kansas, but right around me, not as much. And he's like, if you keep going in there and you keep bugging them, they'll eventually will get back to the distributors and do that. But that's part of the problem. So, but go to the liquor stores and ask them. Of course, actually, Gary's recommendation was call the distributor. And that's a very Gary recommendation, and I love it.
But it's honest. It's totally honest. Done. 30
totally
people
honest.
going just beating on the dude all day is like, okay, fine, I'll give you half a shelf. Lay the fuck off, everyone.
Hey, you're not. Oh, I guess you are at 5 minutes.
Just barely.
But do try to, like the liquor store people, try to give them some slack, because I mean, they're dealing with people that are calling and bugging them about certain things, and maybe those people aren't being very nice to them. But just let them know that what you're trying to find and look at it. But with craft whiskey, it is kind of hard to get some of those. And let's be honest, we've all had bad experiences in liquor stores. I mean, we have, and online. Some of us have bad experiences online. I've got a liquor store very close to me. I will never, ever darken their doors with my presence again in my life, because they were absolute total tools to me. And I'll tell you the story later if you guys want to hear it. Good. I won't mention their name, but I'll never, ever, ever go there because they were tools. So I'll just go down the list and go alphabetically. Two of these, I'm going to honestly say, I think these kind of go hand in hand, because these people here, caskers.com and Flaviar, I believe they are the same company. Flaviar is, of course, a membership that everybody sees. Caskers, you can get sometimes decent pricing, but you can get things, and I don't know how their network exactly works, but I kind of think that they find other stores that will ship it, and they'll push and pull things. The Flaviar, though, is a membership, and Flaviar, you pay. I think we're both clicking. But Flaviar, you pay for it, and you get those really cool samples, that you get, but you really have to want to take advantage of Flaviar to make it worth your while, or unless you are really just trying to explore. Prices go up and down, prices fluctuate, but and Flaviar does have their allocated area, and you're going to pay secondary prices and then some if you go and get stuff from there. I think the membership is worth it if you take advantage of it as much as you can. You do get a discount or money towards the bottle, and you do get your samples. I don't know long-term that it's really the greatest deal in the world. Some people really like it to explore, and that's great. Because honestly, where else are you going to get a package in the mail that has, all Asian whiskey in it, or even just saying, or a smoky sampler, and it could have American, Irish, Scotch, and Indian in it, that's unique, or get to try something like a Compass box that's $200 a bottle, but you get to have a sample out of it. That might be worth it to you to do that.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly can be. It's a good gift, I think, to give to somebody, or even better, like if you or I, Pat, wanted to do it, like I sign up and then I recommended you as a buddy, then I get a discount. I'll get like a credit for signing you up as buddy that I can use, and then use that towards a bottle that we can split.
Oh,
see, that's thinking, or let's say maybe you've got a whiskey couple like our friends, the Ewalds, You could do something like that. It's kind of like the old Columbia House. You sign yourself up, to try to get it. But yeah, the elephant in the room, very obvious recommendation. Our friends at Sealbox, for really a lot of, but they get. I've seen some things that I would not necessarily call it so-called craft. They're a friend of craft whiskey, though, for getting a lot of things that people can't get a hold of. The shipping is not bad for getting shipping there. You could also, I think you could still join you had a deal where you could join the Bourbonar Pro, Bourbonar, which is the other thing that Blake started, for anyone who doesn't know, for the couple people that don't know, that you can get, you'll get discount, or not discount codes. You'll get codes for free shipping sent to you periodically. Also sign up for Sealbox text alerts, because they will text you and they'll say, hey, we just got these things on here, and here's a discounted code to send you. So, and Sealbox, you know, I know you don't like giving away honey holes, but you know what? The more Sealbox sells of stuff, the more stuff they're going to buy. And we want them to buy a lot of things.
Yeah.
So they can send it to us.
And it's like you said, it's not just like the craft world that we delve into, and they do that, but they have been able to get some higher end things. I mean, when, you know, a lot of people can't get in their area. So I think what they did was neat, because they're taking the niche we love, you know, that they are dedicated to. When you look at that website, I think it was 14 pages. I looked on it yesterday for my sister. I'd say 10 of them are probably all going to be a craft whiskey or spirit of some nature.
Oh yeah. And that's the other is what's fun, because you get something in there like some American rum or something like that. We're like, oh, okay, come on. Now this is pretty good. And they're branching out into their own thing too with not only their Sealbox picks. Like I've had three different picks from Wilderness Trail of Sealbox. Great, just really great. And there's been Spirits of French Lick. There's a whole bunch of Starlight stuff that they sent links to today through the text. So
one of the few places you can get Ranger Creek stuff if you're not in
This
Texas.
is very true. Very, very, very true. And you might want to go ahead and
do that now.
If you get some Ranger Creek now, so maybe you could do a comparison later for when changes happen. Yeah. And Mark, I wish that they would wish we could get some more Canadian stuff over here, but I think I don't know. That's baby steps. One that I was recently hip to, Kentucky Place. Now, Kentucky, a year or two ago, changed their law so then they could ship, and I think it was during pandemic, so they can do it. I understand there's some gray areas about how some things work, but you know what? It's not really up to me to figure out the gray area. It's up to the person who's shipping it, to figure out that gray area.
I know the gray area, and it ain't so.
But
gray,
I know, but I know that things ship. I've had places though that say no, but I'll hold it for you, and that's cool because it's not like I'm not going to go there. But just did place an order with this place, Happy Hour Liquor and Bar, and I would say extremely fast service.
Yes,
very reasonable shipping, and a very fun single barrel pick selection, including there's a Lee Sinclair finished in stout barrels. Yeah, creamy Lee Sinclair. So, go ahead and look them up.
Now that you were talking about them, that was another place I took yesterday. Basically, my nephew has a 35th birthday today. My sister was looking for something, I don't want to say wow, but a little punch to it,
Yeah.
So I was trying to explain to her, there's a certain list of things, and some places have it, some places won't. Some live stores might jab you really hard for something. You go down 3 blocks down the road, and let's say a Parliament 21, P-Funk.
Yeah.
Some stores might be, I don't want to say honest, but sell it to you 170-ish, where you go down the road, it might be 310.
Right.
These things happen in online whiskey too. And part of it may be just because it's that hard to get for some of the places, and that is the way it is. But it's always good to look around.
Yes.
But when I said, and I know everyone out there will probably hop on me for this, but they had Dalmore cigar malt for like 170 and in today's climate versus what it used to be, and how everyone else's stuff has. When I looked at some places, like I said, had Parliament at 300, and I was like, I remember buying that at $150, and there's no way I could, I could slap that down in good conscience right now. There are other places that do, but that, and they had we can get Redbreast Endless Stout, but they refuse to get the goddamn cask strength here, like $65 at that online place. Very reasonable for what that was.
Yeah.
So everyone has highs and lows, but there's some neat little. Everyone seems to have a little niche where they have like a reasonable section where you're like, oh, what the hell is that?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, call it like, Tim's comment about Sealbox not shipping to Illinois, but there's a way. There is a way with a lot of places if you contact them. And if you're nice, again, you can make a phone call and you can find out way more information about stuff, which brings up another one that I'm going to mention. This was one of my favorite places to stop into because I go up to Minnesota a lot. Ace Spirits. And Ace went through a thing. They got different owner, and then kind of the shipping just really got yanked away. And I don't know the whole story behind that. I'm guessing maybe something happened. But they have been rolling back out states to ship to. It was back in the day because I had family, friends in Iowa, that it was like a flat $10 to ship to Iowa. So I could have stuff shipped to my mom's, dirt cheap, and then just pick it up next time, that I went up there. Ace keeps changing with their stuff. Ace does a lot of store picks. They do, not a lot. They do good store picks. There's a fair amount of them. Prices are pretty good. It's a great place to stop into if you are up in the Twin Cities area. Open bottles to sample from. Very small, but mighty store in a strip mall. And it's, highly recommend Ace Spirits, but they're definitely keep checking with them or call them about shipping.
And they also do have a decent craft whiskey selection.
Oh yeah.
Because I know that they do have Far North. And I know that's where I think I got a bottle from. I don't know if it was for you too.
They had a pretty good amount of Far North stuff there. Yeah.
Which is really surprising. And if you, said that about Mike. He's kind of the northern rye Gary Highgardner.
Yes. Yeah.
One of these people that just have a massive amount of knowledge and are doing really neat seed projects and stuff all the time. And they have a pretty good fair share of that stuff. And I know they had a good selection out on the East Coast for a while for hitting states out there too. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim, the mom tax, it's this.
Why? Would you have to clean the gutters?
Pretty much it. Again, really?
Well, I can't get up there.
Yeah. I haven't used these guys here in a while. But Keg and Bottle. I had good luck with them. And actually, where I found some of these other places that I was trying to find stuff was from the folks at winesearcher.com, which is not just for wine, but you could put in the name of a spirit and say, I want it to ship to this state, and they'll accommodate you and tell you who will ship to that state. So that's how I came across some of these, because I was trying to find something specific, and that's how I, in Keg and Bottle, I can't even remember what I used them for, but I kept them on my list and did not have a bad experience with them. Another one that I have not used in a while, but I would say I had a good experience with anyway, Cask Cartel. And that's another, it's been a while, something very specific that I was looking for. Kind of a newcomer though. Next one though, I've heard a lot of really good things about them aside from when I tried them and I had a very good experience. Mash and Grape. They were very surprising in their prices, and sometimes you can't get stuff shipped to Missouri, and sometimes you can, and it's really weird. You can't ship liquor within Missouri, but I'm not that far from the state line, so I had called my buddy up. It's like, hey, can I have something sent to your house? Because he's 6 minutes away from me. It's like, yes, and he's across the state line. Go and take care of it that way. But Mash and Grape, I had pretty good experience with them, and I would definitely go to them again. Another oddball, Wine to Ship. Again, it was one looking for specific spirits, but that was another good site that had decent selection. Actually, there's a bunch of places in California that I started going down a rabbit hole when I was looking at finding these places that were doing cast. I wouldn't call them a barrel pick, but I'd say cast strength releases of stuff. And we've got, he's leaving me by myself. I'm going to burn this to the ground. But yeah, there were some pretty interesting places that had a lot of Armagnacs and mezcals and stuff, aside from whiskeys. But yeah, again, all the stuff I came across was going through Wine Searcher, and I found, all these places in New York and all this other stuff that we're coming up with. And I found a couple of places, like there's one in St. Louis. This place just rocks. Wine and Cheese place is so good. There's also Friar Tuck's is another one that's over there. But aside from going to Total Wine, they can't ship within Missouri. However, they have good prices and they'll hold it for you. So you can contact them and get them to send stuff. There's a few places of Wine and Cheese places. Man, their prices were so stinking good. And their selection was pretty good as well. Most of these places have a list that you can get on too, that they'll send you out their specials, and you can go and peruse and then figure out how bad you got the shakes for some online whiskey. And what's weird, I haven't found some of them as far as like shipping to me. There's not always a consistency of who they use for the shipper, and I don't know if it's because they're getting them, like they're kind of maybe brokering it through somebody else to get it to you. FedEx and UPS, obviously being the two big ones. DHL when I've got them from outside the country, but FedEx and UPS, FedEx will stick the label on there that says it's alcohol. UPS does not do that much, if at all, in my experience. What's also weird is it'll be tagged, alcohol. You have to sign for it. I've had where somebody from FedEx, which I do understand, there's a difference between a contractor for FedEx and a FedEx person. Like maybe a contractor person is more likely to follow the rules because they want to keep working for FedEx. But I've had them hand boxes to my daughter at the door, who, although she's almost 20 years old, is 4'11" and looks like she's 14 years old. And we laugh about it. And then I've had where they're just like, nope, not going to drop it off. UPS is more likely to say, nope, I'm not dropping this off no matter what. It's kind of
I've had to go pick it up, which then all of a sudden you feel like it's a trap.
Yes. And I had and don't use the post office. If you're doing it, don't use the post office.
Yeah.
But not saying that somebody has or hasn't used the post office, or a business has or hasn't used the post office to send me something. All I know is it showed up at my door. But a lot of places like, Wine and Cheese place, they're like, no, we will not even think about shipping it within Missouri, and Gary at Wood Hat, I could call and order it from him, but he can't ship it to me. But there's a winery right next door to him. They can ship wherever they want. So that's ridiculous. Yeah. Another recent one, I done use these a couple of times. Shared Pour, pretty good experience with Shared Pour. Nothing really bad to bring up or anything like that. It was just standard. Hey, good prices, pretty quick service. I have had slow service from a couple, which I will get into that. And I do want to say, if you're not just going for American whiskey, but sometimes you can get American whiskey outside the country that you cannot get inside the country.
Ooh, that is true.
That is a thing.
That's a big
not
thing,
necessarily craft, but it's a thing.
Whew.
Two of them that I will say that I have used. Yes, they ship internationally. Yes, they're tagged. Yes, they have to go through customs. So no, you're not going to be in a hurry. These two, Nichols and Perks and Fine Drams. Mm-hmm. So you can find some stuff on there. Yeah, Fine Drams is really fine. and Nichols and Perks, I used them a few months ago, and it's like, yeah, it was pretty good perusing on there for stuff. And their big thing basically in their shipping, I think it was more about, yes, we can get it to the States. And it's coming in from DHL and going through customs, after that point. One other one, which I don't know if it really, I'll say that this counts. So if you're contacting some distilleries direct, some of them can ship. Some of them, like our buddy Will, he can ship. He's got a piece of paper from the government that says that he can ship. Now, some of them, they like shipping samples, but he's got it from the government, and you can order Old Time Spirits, and Old Time Spirits will ship it. And he's got a piece of paper from the government that says that he can ship. I'll stress that again. He has a piece of paper from the government that says that he can ship.
Legally.
Legally, that he can do that. Some of our unfortunate friends, like in Texas, you can order online from Iron Root, but you got to pick it up at the distillery, which, darn it, that means you got to go pick it up at the distillery.
Not the worst trip.
It's not the worst trip in the world at all. There's a hotel very close, a restaurant right behind them, and might I say, maybe an overpriced liquor store across the parking lot from them. I would go a little bit further away for some of that stuff. But yeah, you can call, Iron Root, you can order online, pick up the distillery. Deerhammer, calling them or going online directly, they can ship now. Deerhammer will ship their spirits all over. They are using a third party to do the fulfillment and everything. But that has worked. That has worked for shipping stuff off. Kentucky distilleries, some will ship, some will not. Hartfield will ship if you want to get some Hartfield. They'll drop ship it to you. I think Neely will. I know our friends at Glens Creek. Glens Creek will not, but they will hold it for you indefinitely. So you can buy it. You can have it there. It's waiting. It's got your name on it at Glens Creek. And you know what? It's not a bad visit. No,
that's a good trip. And that's a reason to pull you someplace and go do something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's a stop on a trip. It's like, well, I have to go there. I have $300 worth of bottles sitting there.
There he is.
That's half the point of the trip.
Yeah. Can we hear him again?
No.
Am I here?
Oh, you're there.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know.
Awesome.
He's back. All right, guys, we're going to start all over. I mentioned Wood Hat Spirits. You can order stuff on Wood Hat Spirits. They will hold it for you. And I believe, as Gary mentioned on our show the first time he was on, like if you said, "Hey, I really want to order your stuff, but I'm in Colorado," they might know somebody who is going to be going on their way to Colorado, so you could give them permission to grab your stuff.
They're legit mule train.
That is the mule train. Yeah,
that's legit.
Straight up mule train.
I've had that a couple times. What was it? Northern Waters. We got some bottles from them, and they got legit car muled, and it showed up at my work like all of this does.
Yeah, some things show up, and again, calling distillery just like not the grocery store, but just like going to a liquor store. The people that normally tune in, this doesn't apply to you. Don't be a dick. Just be nice to them, because they might find a way. I mean, if you talk to them, they might say, no, we can't, but they might be able to lead. But maybe there's a bottle shop that can, or maybe there's another means or another way, or maybe they say, hey, you should contact this person, and maybe that person does muling. You just don't know. They want to sell stuff too, and it's not that I think distributors are evil. It's not that I don't think they're evil, but I think that when you can buy directly from a distillery and maybe cut out some bureaucratic horseshit, and the government's going to get its money however it feels like and whenever it feels like, as many times as it feels like. So those taxes are still being paid. Maybe there's a middleman that's being cut out by you going to a distillery and not having to go to horseshit that that sometimes people have to go through, So yeah, that's it. Or, the other pro tip, don't be an anus.
That's a good general tip for life, right there.
That is a life tip. Now I will say I've had some rough experiences with some places. I've had one place I had great experience right off the bat, and I'll say it was Seal Box. Great experience right off the bat. COVID starts happening. I remember there was one order I was waiting on for over 2 months.
Right.
And the thing was, I was not getting any updates. It kind of turned into a joke. It's like, I would say, hey, I know you're not in the office, but you got email, right? Are you checking the email? And it was over 2 months to get the order. I mean, it was like, and during that time, Blake was on our show. It was like, hey, but I get it. Two person operation, really only one of them's around there. There's COVID going on. answer your email. That was my complaint. I was patient. I didn't ask for anything extra. Didn't ask for any treatment. Okay. It was fine. Then I had another order. Totally fine. Then another one, not so fine. But it seems like all of that has been remedied. A lot of people are having really good experiences with them. I have a long time ago, I had a really bad experience with Caskers. They kept sending me the wrong stuff. And then I had a guy, had this dude argue me. I ordered Omrit peated cast strength. They sent me Omrit. just the bait. I don't even remember which one it was. It's like, this is not the same thing. I took pictures of it, and this guy's like, "Are you sure you don't have the right thing?" It's like, one, do you know the difference between peated and not peated whiskey? Two, do you know the difference between cast strength or not? And he's like, "No, we think we sent you the right thing." It was round and around and around with this dumb sack of ass sending pictures. And finally it was, and I was like, look it up, look up the product. You've got the order, look it up. And he's like, "No, it's the same thing." Finally, I went to the website. I took screenshots of what the product was and so showed it to him. And he's like, "Well, by golly, you're right." and then after all that, they're like, "You know what? Ship us the bad one back, and then we'll send you the new one." I was like, "No, I don't think so. I think you're going to send me the new one. You know, you should let me just keep this other one, but I'll send it back, whatever." So of course they sent me shipping and everything else to send it back. And then, and then after everything was done, they're like, "Hey, sorry you had trouble. Here's $5 for your next order." and I've not used them since then. Cause I'm like, well, that was just a bunch of shit. I have had the wrong thing sent to me through Sealbox, but they also said, "Okay, here's the deal. We sent you the wrong thing. If you want to keep it, we'll give you a discount on like a good discount on the next one." Cause they're like, "It's cheaper than us shipping it, restocking, everything else. Do you want to just keep this one for X amount and do this?" Yeah. And that was great customer service. And they've been really, really good,
honest about
to
it
deal
too,
with.
because by the whole time, the time spent dicking around with that is there's not enough people that see that and be like, "Here's our cut bait line." No, here.
Yeah.
If you want this, we'll fix it if you want, but you get to play. Let's make a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had Sealbox stepped up on a leaky bottle. I had a bottle absolutely destroyed. I had 2 bottles shipped to me, and one of them was just destroyed. They stepped up right away and sent out. Their customer service has been, say I had a couple instances, just being honest about those, but they've stepped up on a lot of things and just been really, really, really good about it. And, I couldn't give them any complaints. I know they probably have some growing pains at the point, where I was doing my thing, but it just turned in, it was a joke, man. It turned into a huge joke with us.
Ooh, that's tasty. Sorry. I'd been
what are you sipping on?
Me?
Yeah. Since I guess we didn't talk about that.
I had the stuff from last week. I'm just sipping on some Dalton now because it was sitting out here.
Oh, all right then.
I was holding off to see how I was. Now we've been talking about booze for 30 minutes, and I feel like I should be drinking some.
Talking about buying it. Now you got to put up or shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what I don't know, and maybe Renita could chime in on this one, just because she's the resident Texas expert, as is Nathan. But I don't know how many other of the Texas distilleries you can order and then just pick it up later. I mean, I know Iron Root has means for it. I don't know, because with all the stuff coming out with Balcones, I don't know that they do that or can do it.
Mm-hmm. As far as Lone Elm in Wisconsin and a couple other states, it just came out at the beginning of this month that you can pick that up in Wisconsin and a few other states. I think Johnson Distributing just did it. So if you can't find them, go harass your store owner. And that's not the right word. I just say it because it's hearing the repetitive nature of what we want, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
I'll go get it. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying be a dick, but hit that repetitive nature.
Well, you could be persistent without being a dick.
Yeah, that's true.
That's totally possible. I mean,
you can still be friendly.
You could still be friendly. These are people with jobs, but and sometimes people have bad days. But honestly, there are some people in some businesses that they're asses. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bishop was talking about Indiana working on their stuff, which is funny because like you can get their stuff. I can get their stuff in sent into Nebraska, like or Illinois. It's like you can go around the state, or it's on the east side of Missouri, but it's not coming near us, and
Right.
it's whatever.
I wonder who is that now? Could that be? This is offshoot and conspiracy theory, but could there be like a conglomerate of something trying to keep things out of Kansas City?
I think that there's probably some truth to that. I do know that there was a change in because I know Gary switched over to a different distributor several months back, and then he was able to get his stuff more into Kansas City. And there's we have two big Irish businesses here. We've got one, Brown's Irish. Come to town, look them up. Oldest Irish business outside of Ireland. Great whiskey selection. They do single barrels of stuff, and you get Irish food, etc. Really, really good. But then there's also one up in Weston, Missouri. That's the Celtic Ranch. They've got a whiskey snug. You can actually, if you wanted to become a certified whiskey ambassador, you can do that up there. They get a lot of stuff in, but they were finally getting to get Gary stuff up there, which that's a pretty good spot to do it. But it's still just kind of going around me, except for a couple of spots. I can drive over to Kansas and there's a guy over in Kansas that does single barrel picks of Wood Hat. But I got to go over there and go get that stuff. But getting it around me is bullshit. So, which is too bad, or I can just go get in the car and drive 2.5 hours each way and see Gary. And
I'm sorry. I like my other theory of whiskey conspiracies. I mean, have to dig into that.
I would not be surprised if there was something where they're trying to keep certain markets.
With how many distilleries are in the Kansas City area? Like I've said this before, I think there's 6 or 7. It's an unknown distillery hotspot for like destination because there's so much concentrated in that little area, not to mention where you can branch out to. But I could see there being like a little lockout on some things. Just saying. And not in a negative way. I mean, if you're trying to really promote things in your city when people come and trying to leave, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want to get anyone fired, but
most people are, Tim. But yeah, I mean, I get if you're a distributor and you're like, okay, look, I can sell this much Jack and this much Beam, and I know I can push this, or I can sweat over a case of this little small distillery thing. Which one am I going to put my money into? I get that. But then if you're not going to do that, then those guys ought to be able to ship directly. Every damn one of them.
Right.
Under a certain output, you should be able to ship directly. Since we're talking about dreams.
If you're not allowed to hit in that range, well, doesn't that I know that Will made a specific argument to the government to get what he had.
Yeah.
But I feel like that argument is like the like the smaller end of craft distilleries that are very, in that same range that are very good. If you're going to bypass me, how else am I supposed to get huge? Wait 30 years?
Right.
Bullshit to that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would think I don't want to start talking about the government. Screw them. State and local. This one's for your state. That's for your local. Because you've seen stuff like in Minnesota, it's like, oh yeah, you can visit the distillery, but you can only walk away with 200 mil. But you can go to the liquor store and you can load your car up if you like.
No, that state's more backwards than Texas. I give anyone kudos for fucking making a distillery work there. Because do they try to cut.
I could get a case of Hollow Point sent to my house, and my 4-year-old will pick them up. but by God, they will not let that liquor touch their hands because that's dangerous. It's ridiculous, and whatever. There's good reasons for it, and those good reasons are bad people. So there you go. And I'm talking about the government.
We're going to use that. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, well, it is all about the
Forget
government.
feds.
But yeah, most of these places I've had good experiences with buying stuff, and it was really just because around me locally, I couldn't do it, or I'd have to like say, okay, do I want to spend a day driving from store to store to store to try to find things that I know most of it I can't get, or do I just want to search and find stuff online? And you know, I remember the weirdest thing getting like my first Balcones stuff that I got came from Caskers, and one of them shipped out of Florida, and I think another one came out of New York, and it's like whatever. So there's Texas whiskey down here, but I got to get these out of here. I don't care. I'm getting it. So I mean, that was, you know, whatever it takes, get me what I want. And things have definitely changed in the last couple of years as far as getting things. I don't have a Total Wine near me that I could do the Total Wine trick where you have Total Wine shipped to another one. But if I wanted to drive over to the other side of the state, sure I could, you know.
It works. Two things here. Mitch, not just going to drag me. I'm going to show up because we're using that Death Star style fucking barbecue that he has there.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll bring 3 trucks.
I'm up
if
for
we
this
move it
idea,
5
man.
feet, he'll probably be pissed.
You can't move it.
That's what the rumor is.
That's the whole point. It weighs like 1,500 pounds. You're not
I
moving
know. I'm just saying, if we can
He
find
said
a way.
he wanted to make it big enough so nobody could steal it. And yeah, Alan brought up K&L. Yeah, K&L, that's another one. I forgot to mention them. I've used them. They've got really, really good selections of Armagnac. Really good.
That
K&L wines.
that is becoming much more appreciated in the spirits world. And
Yes.
for a lot of reasons, because you can get something that is significantly older in age comparatively, and you're not usually getting as beat over the head with it. I mean, you still can, but you can find something that's 30, 45 years old, and you're not destroying your bank account and losing a marriage over it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I mean, you could.
You could. They have ones out there that are that expensive as well, but I'm just saying what didn't you get one that was like a 50-year-old or something like a year?
Yeah. Because I was trying for my 50th. Buying 50-year-old, 50-year-old bourbon, that's a hard no anyway. but a like legitimately 50 years old, not, old beam. But and trying to find 50-year-old Scotch, that wouldn't happen either. So I thought, well, let me look at brandies and Armagnacs, and I found a 50-year-old brandy, and it was actually really good priced, and it was good. I really dug it.
Spanish brandy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was remarkable.
Yeah, I still have one.
I have half a vial left downstairs.
I got
a special pack.
I got 3 of those bottles.
Holy shit.
I still have one of them. Yeah. Well, they weren't. I mean, it was like
they are tasty.
It's like 50 something a bottle,
right?
And it was from a single batch, and I'm like, well, why not? So,
you get really good Armagnac that's pushing 50 years, and you're just barely spending over $100 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know Renita put up there before about Crowded Barrel. They have where you can pick it up. They always have, which is nice. I think they put a limit on it. I think it was a year, maybe. No, it was 2 years that they would hold it. But that makes sense with the extensive amount of people that could be ordering from them compared to some other places. Space would be a factor. They'd probably have to have a whole room just for that. But they also, I know they were talking about shipping, and they were going to be very similar to what Santa Fe Spirits does, where they'll be shipping to 44 states. So probably the same provider, which Santa Fe Spirits, if you just talk to them, they'll ship right to you.
Yeah, that's another one. Santa Fe was, you just got to call them.
Right.
They'll figure out a way.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's tasty.
Sorry,
I shouldn't have started drinking.
Talking about Crowded Barrel, that's exactly what I'm sipping on. Little real spirits.
Oh, ooh, okay.
From those guys. So it's been. This is a little bit of a unique experience because I've had a few real spirits expressions, but they've all been proofed down. This one's coming in at 120 proof, and man, syrupy, rich.
I was like, go on, because I want to hear that, because I remember when we had them before. I liked them both that we had from them.
This comes in a little bit more intense with the oak. Big vanilla hit to it, but man, you get into all those same, all the same sweet, God, all those pastry notes and everything that were going on typically with that single malt. It's just dangerously delicious.
All right, I was just excited. It's been a while since we had any of their stuff, but I did like it. The problem with Texas is that if you go for a visit, that you need like 2 visits.
You need a U-Haul to bring back all your
stuff. You need 2 people in the car, and one of them who doesn't drink. They just go in and go buy stuff.
Maybe, but who doesn't drink?
Get it? Well, you never know. You can find people.
True. That's true. I do have friends that are designated drivers.
Some flippers pay homeless people to stand in line for them outside the liquor store. So
that's true. That's very true.
This is my scruffy uncle.
All right. How have your experiences been with? I realized I was saying Ben for a second is like a double statement there, so I wanted to stop. But how have been your experiences with online stuff?
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
How have your experiences been?
Most of my online experience was in South Carolina, which was difficult. South Carolina has been one of those states that a lot of places will not ship to. So you really have to do your digging and hunt and just find and that's it. It's like you get something in mind that you want to order, and you go do a search, go do some Google foo, and you start finding places that are selling, and you sit there and click on, well, who are you shipping to? Who are you not? Oh, you don't say you won't ship to South Carolina. Let me throw it in the cart and find out. And sometimes you get lucky and you get some stuff, and then a lot of times you just don't. So, I mean, I've ordered from random wine stores in like New York and Florida and stuff like that. And then California has, shipped a few times stuff that will ship out of DC. It's usually successful.
Right. Dude, I tried to keep it together for a second, man.
You have no idea. You have no idea the shit coming into my phone right now from Alan.
Yeah, I can believe it. But can we just say you could put the word cooter in front of anything, and it's funny,
stop for a
right?
Second. I mean, how they named a dude Cooter,
right?
Dukes of Hazzard.
That fella could fix anything, though.
Yep. So Sealbox was one of my best bets to go to for some craft stuff. That was good and consistent. I never had any issues with them like Mike did, except for that one stretch during COVID when it took forever to get stuff shipped. But fortunately, I think pretty much all my online order, I've been really fortunate so far. No breakages, nothing shipped that was wrong. Just sometimes taking a long while. And jumping in here late, I don't know if you guys, Mike, did you bring up our little secret spot? Or are we keeping that?
I did. No, I did. I brought up a combination of that one. Where's the combo here? My overseas combo. That and Nichols and Perks.
Okay. Yeah, Fine Drams has been killer for getting in a lot of scotches and Irish and things like that. And travel retail.
2 weeks or so to ship it. I mean,
right.
I mean, that's pretty damn good.
And the price is usually cheaper than what you can get here in the States. And then there's a lot of stuff that you just can't get here in the States that they sell. So that's
kind of the big thing when you're going over there.
It's like Green Spot, Chateau Lavelle Barton, and Chateau Montelena.
Right.
You can get them from there for, it was like $50 some for a 700.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They had when they had it Connemara Turfmoor. That was fantastic.
Right.
It's just, I mean, and it's not something thing is it's not even offered here, and I get it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, seriously, that's and it was reasonably priced for what it was.
Yeah.
Of course, that's when I was hanging out with Brad LeClaire a little bit more, and he'll raise your level of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can, like, especially for not American whiskey, you can find stuff over there that you're just not going to get over here. Like, you have to go over there to go get it.
Or you might not even knew it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
But I've seen some US whiskeys over there that's like, shit, I can't buy that near me.
Yeah. So a little hint, if you're really an Iron Root fan, their Texas, what is it, Texas Legation or whatever that special release they did for Great Britain, you can get that at Fine Drams.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because it wasn't that made for them specifically.
Right.
It was
Exactly.
made for overseas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, two other ones. These are more groups though than as far as shipping, but as far as getting an opportunity at something more unique, these are both, I'm going to say, more expensive in my mind. Single Cask Nation and Master of Malt.
Right.
Well,
both.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Don't cut me off. Go ahead.
Single Cask Nation, though, I mean, right now, there's no guarantee you're going to get what you want unless you get into their retail, and you can find someone who's got it. But the online only offerings, there's just it's a crapshoot to get someone.
It's hard to get anything. Well, of course. Well, that's what I said. But as far as getting an opportunity, and like I said, it's something unique a lot of times, and they will ship to you. But like you said, it's not like I'm going to buy it. It's more like you're on the craps table.
Yeah.
Does your number come up? Are you paying attention when an email or something goes out?
Now, if your number comes up, I know at least 2 out of 3 of us who've gotten really damn giddy. Because it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's like it gives you a little bit of that lotto experience. Like,
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
And then it gives you the am I in for this?
Yeah.
Not Heaven Hill release that wasn't in a fire.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Master Malt, another thing more for overseas stuff, unique releases, something really interesting, and they get it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that as far as shipping, they're a very consistent. And if you were, I know they're not always small distilleries, but I mean, I think what they do is unique for the ones that they are working with. And those are kind of the things that we like in craft whiskey, is doing the unique thing, the unique release, this, doing different grain, doing something else. That's what a lot of times they're going with or having a release based off of. So that part I dig. Oh, just right? That's all I got. I didn't know.
Have you guys brought up the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society?
No, we have not.
No, that was another one that was on my list of membership stuff.
Right.
It is, but I don't know how much membership is, because some of
it's like $100.
Yeah, it's not that expensive to get in. It's just depending on the bottles you choose.
And they often have deals for joining where you can get a membership with like extra credit, on your other ones, or maybe it's $50 to get in, and we're going to give you $50 towards your first bottle. Now the bottles are usually $100 or more, but you're also getting single barrel picks of stuff that you're not going to get somewhere else.
Right.
And
single barrel cask strength. A lot of it is Scotch with some age on it. I mean, they have American and other things that they're offering, but
and I think
taking a look at what you're doing, and
I think some of these are exactly what we're talking about, is when you're doing this next level, rather than just getting something shipped to you, where you're joining a group or membership who has good deals on unique things. You basically, I'm going to tell you, you're in for the year. There's a lot of people in the chat I've known for a while, in the Whiskey Tribe and other things. There was a year or two where you went over the line on the amount of bottles you got. Not really. You had the I had the money and stuff, and you spent it, and it was exciting. But there's a point where you're going to be investing in the year just because you're excited and it's there.
Right.
So when you're doing some of those things and you know that year is coming up, and you can just have to sit down and be honest with yourself, then hit one of those things up. Because now now you're hunting for something cool. You're invested. That $100 kind of pays off itself in probably 2 or 3 buys at that point, especially with the discounts like Mike's saying that you can get on some of the things from places. But you'll all hit that. And then I think we'll hit points where you'll take a section off. You'll take a little time off and you'll see that coming. Like, no, this is not the year I need to spend $100 to join a group that I'm, but maybe 2 years down the line, it's like, okay, I'm back in, on that level of purchasing.
If one thing, a side note to, if just because, there's a comment about shipping in Texas. If there was a smart entrepreneur in Texas that had political ties, I know those don't exist. However, if there was one of those that said, hey, the state of Texas, we could ship out as the state distributor to other states. Maybe they're still going to deny in-state shipping, but they could do that in controlling shipping outside of the state of Texas and being able to capture that revenue from other states. That'd be a pretty damn good revenue stream that they could use.
Right.
Because then you wouldn't be shipping that whiskey in the arms of that defenseless 2-year-old that answered the door. You'd be shipping it into the arms of that awful 2-year-old in California. So, and you could make money off of his horrible parents. But, you could, just saying, it's a business idea for somebody to do that, but whatever.
I didn't necessarily buy whiskey in moderation. I just said, if you're going to be investing heavily in a year, then do it. I'll let you spend whatever you want.
Yeah,
you can do that in a year. It's
just share
just
it with
what
somebody.
You're hunting for.
Yeah,
just share. And Tim did, and we'll be doing a review of that coming up here. He sent us some Widow Jane Decadence, since we were talking about that earlier in a few reviews. I have not touched the damn thing, but it's one of those ones that's sitting over there that does have me quite intrigued.
I was tempted to open it up for this show tonight, but considering the internet difficulties I was having, didn't have time to get into it.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wait, hold on here. I'm going to go back to the runestone. That went down really, really fast, considering. But we're coming up on an hour. We've given you a few places to stop in and take a look at and purchase for different reasons.
And please, again, try your local out. Check them out. Maybe if you talk to them and you talk about something's really cool and you send them a little sample of some or take it in with them, maybe they might even to go and contact that distillery and say, you know what? I want to do a single barrel pick of that.
I can't tell you how much more that is accurate than some. I've been in 2 different situations where that happened. One was like kind of upset and felt like I was insulting his taste and palate. And I was not trying to do that. I was like, hey, there are some neat things out here. Here are 4 or 5 things to try. Do what you will with it after that. And I'm like, plus, when I've been in here, you let me try a few things, a little reciprocal behavior,
right.
Not just making it the bond just over whiskey and money, getting to know the person at the store and creating that community off of it. But one was just bad. It just did not go well at all. Yeah, like I said, he thought I was insulting his taste and palate, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. There's 50,000 different distilleries out there. How could you get to taste all of them? Like, really, all the distributors come here and bring you a taste of it. Bullshit. I'm not being mean, but bullshit. And the other one's, guess what? Picked up couple barrel picks from the place and did some other things with them. All you're doing is just turning someone else on to something else exciting, hoping that thing clicks and they're like, oh, snap. The Whiskey Tribe reviewed one of Gary's whiskeys earlier today. And,
I saw that.
And I saw that too. And I was like, it just reinforcement from everyone who sees Gary. I was like, they said in their own way, Gary's like a living legend. The dude, so much information, just a character. And apparently he'll sell the distillery to you if you're out there with a little scratch, because he wants to just go into the grain to make you it so you can move on to the future and make great stuff. It's tempting. Might have been a discussion with the wife.
If you hadn't have bought the house,
that's fucking right. If I hadn't bought the house,
you would have that badass grill. If you hadn't have bought the house, you would have Gary's grill. Just think about that.
Hurts. Oh no, I don't want to. That hurts the time.
That sounds like that needs to be a rap song, Gary's Grill.
Gary's grill.
Some Midwestern white boys.
Be like those farmers rapping about their chores. I just know. I don't know if I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Fire suppression and security cameras are a good thing.
Between high proof alcohol and ammunition, I'm just telling the fire department, let it go, baby. Stay far away.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's steps away. Oh God.
That's even more steps away.
Right.
That's not well, then thinking you say it's public access, I mean, then you're vaguely being funded and there's statemental issues about paying.
We're vaguely being watched.
I can't make any more if I do that.
Lord.
All I'm saying,
But it would be good.
I know how to run a column in a pot still.
I know that now, and it's that's exciting.
Yeah.
I may have to thief Ben. You know what, Eli? You got something going here. And it depends if I can get people pulled out of the state that they're at.
Thanks a lot, Eli.
Only. Sir.
You made the wheels turn.
Eli, we're bringing you in to run the restaurant, buddy.
Hell yeah. You could.
Oh,
we
shit.
We have a.
Eli can
few
freaking
cooks.
throw down
We
in the
would just
kitchen,
have
man.
to pick a right destination. That
Yeah.
would be all too many smiles on my
Or
face.
combination butcher shop and liquor store.
Yep.
Uh,
Get your meat.
I mean-
Get your meat wet. Sorry, it's late. I couldn't resist.
But that's a great shirt. I'm sorry, we would have that shirt. That would be fantastic. Oh my god. Copy. That's trademark, people. Don't.
Or like
All our other ideas. Don't touch that.
Right.
Yeah, like everyone. Yeah, we have good ideas. People keep stealing them. But like the new Patoka Lake T-shirt that has the wine cork on it. That says pull out. Yeah.
Hey,
had
this is something I've talked about people not
Go ahead.
doing, and I've heard rumors about. Is when you pull the distillate and ship it to 3 different places or states,
Yeah.
and watch the maturation, and then
Right.
and this would be tough because you'd want to see it at 2, of course, and then again almost more at 4, but waiting to 4 and then getting, I would say, a better barometer for what's going to happen in each state. Because like I said, up here for bourbon, it's more 5 years. Rye, you can get away with 2, so it would depend upon what you're doing. But that is a fantastic idea, and I know a few places, I know one in Texas that is, and a few other places that are doing something similar, just things have not come to fruition yet.
Right.
But when they do, Oh man, that's something people. I mean, that's something that you should have an event that goes around the country too. I mean, if you can get people to do little road trip tours,
like a semi that ages whiskey,
works for me. Oh, you know what? That's a twofer. That's a
and you could charge $100 a bottle for it.
Ben,
it's already been done, Pat.
Tell your work. What? No, Artbag with theirs or whose? Artbag with their thing or whose?
No, it is. What's his name? Country singer.
Oh, fuck off! Really?
Yeah, it's a country singer that he did it.
Sorry, everyone has a thing now. As long as
who was a distillery? Did it with a Kentucky distillery. Someone else knows what it is, and I don't really care because I'm not going to buy it. But
that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, it's called American. Brad Paisley. It's called American something. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, if it was like American Spirits, there was one that was awful. It was like that. I hope that's not his. You know what? How did some of these people, not celebrities, backing some of these? How did some of them not taste it beforehand? Maybe their palate's blowing, or something like that. But we've had a few that are celebrity backed, and I get that you're going probably for a wide palette of people, and you're trying to hit a big array with lighter, probably not as exciting flavors. Doing that appeal to more people, but fuck, like really? I don't know. Sorry, I'm putting it out there. I'll see what you guys have to say. Sorry.
No, I've had that question sometimes before with some of the stuff. It's like that's put out there. I mean, there's plenty of there's good whiskey. Like, not to sit here and people can shit on bottom shelf all they want to, but a lot of it it's still in itself. It's fine. It's somebody hands you a glass, you can drink it, you're not going to die. But there's some of it that's just absolute rot gut shit. And it's like, I sat there and wondered, how did they sit here and think, oh yeah, this is great, we'll sell this. Huh?
Like, didn't you taste it? Like, someone said be involved in it. Or on the other side, sorry, we're branching off. I don't care. We're late into the show. I don't give a shit now. That Kylie Jenner thing where it was tequila, but like you literally took someone else's fucking recipe.
Okay, look, dude, we're late enough in that show anyway. Fuck that whole family.
Yes.
Fuck that whole fucking family. I don't care.
Waste of space.
Yeah. Hi, I'm a mom. I'm going to build an empire off my daughter's sex tape because I'm a trash piece of shit human being.
Hey, she tried to build it off the people she fucked, and it didn't work.
The whole family, and Ryan Seacrest for promoting that show, and he's a piece of shit too. So there you have it. Whatever.
There's your truth bomb.
Thanks,
no,
Pat.
that's fine. I have very similar. I have very similar views about that family in general, and I'm just about that. Like, and they didn't make.
They should never get airtime. They should get no media
and
no airtime. They're trash.
No. Yes, I get your trash thing, but I'm going to bring it back to the booze side of things. Okay, Ben, I'll let you trash.
I was going to say that just gets into the whole thing of celebrity in America, period, and that ties into the whole celebrity tie to whiskey, in my opinion. We are, as a society, we're fucking obsessed with celebrity, and I think it's the goddamnedest, most ridiculous thing. Period. It just is. The fact that we are so freaking obsessed over every, just the whole Johnny Depp and Amanda Heard trial thing. Sure, there's some funny things. Depp has said some great things, but who the fuck cares? It's two people settling their issues. And, I'm sorry, Johnny Depp, you're a fucking court jester from 600 years ago. All actors, all actresses. That's not knocking what they're doing in a way, but that's what you are. And we put you on pedestals like gods and goddesses. You're not. Sorry. That's how I feel about it. And so you want to tie celebrities to whiskey? I don't give a fuck. And I'm probably not going to buy it because of it. You can put your name on some great stuff, but because you're freaking celebrity, it's just like, I just want to steer away from that whole thing. And the same thing with, we make celebrities out of distillers and stuff, and everybody else tied to this industry in a lot of ways. There's a lot of just,
We're
people doing a job. We're people doing a job. Everybody's got a job to do. So That's
Thank you,
there's
Go.
my
If you remember what it was. I like
there's
that.
my 2 cents.
Whoa. Dude, they caught on and they just cut Mike the fuck out.
No, so I would give one. There's been very few exceptions to so-called celebrity whiskey. I went in with low expectations on this whiskey. I came out pleasantly surprised. I had mixed experiences of sharing this whiskey with people because some people are like, why are you giving me this shit? It's like, just try it. The Bradshaw. And
Okay.
I seriously,
we're gonna do that as we come up to next.
I had
season.
low expectations, and you guys know, yes, Terry Bradshaw is my quarterback. I grew up a Steelers fan. That has nothing to do with it. I was actually pleasantly surprised at that for that price, 100 proofs. Like, it's pretty good. I could take care of a few bottles of that.
Right.
But
On your
not a whole lot of it. Blackened.
That.
I had blackened once and I like, hey, you know what? I kind of like it. I had a second time. It's like, this sucks. I don't know if it's batches or what, but it's like, it was not good at all.
I got lost. There's too many other things happening in the chat. I got stuck backwards trying to find something. I forgot what the hell I was going to say there. Oh, what the hell was it? Beaver anal gland spirit. No, we don't. We don't need any. That's not right. Well, it's strawberry flavoring, or is it raspberry? Natural raspberry flavoring.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Imitation vanilla flavoring.
No, I thought it was raspberry.
Really?
Yeah.
It up.
Well, fuck, we're gonna have to Google this shit. All right,
Google
we're gonna go. We're gonna go back into arguing because I fucking love it. But before we do, yeah, we did start promoting this a little bit because they had a little article about Alan Benton going into the woods. Check the Facebook page for that. It's a really nice article from Highware. Kind of backed it up on that one. Scott put it out, so that's where I saw it. We're working with Alan and Scott, getting them both on the show, where we're going to do a tasting with their White Dog spirit that they produced. It was basically Johnny Red, all bundled up in the fats and dressings and drippings of bacon, and hung to age in the smokehouse with Alan's Benton's hams, and then they distilled it. Now Ben's had this, and I'll let him go for a second when we get there. But contact us. We're gonna eventually, once we get the final date, we'll put it up. But contact us like I said last week, and some of you did, and we'll get you a sample of that. And you can go right on the Benton's page and order some ham, bacon, prosciutto, whatever you want to get from them, and you can have that during the tasting when we're talking with them. It's probably only going to be an hour long because we want to keep within Alan's time frame, and we're going to do it at 7. But it is something to get a hold of us for. You can obviously get it beforehand. We'll get it in motion, but the date is going to be picked fairly soon. So we're just working on that with Alan and Scott, but it will be a fantastic evening. Yeah, I am going to pimp that, Emily. Thank you for bringing that up. Sorry. All right, now back to the arguing. Go.
What arguing?
What? Oh, man. Really?
What are we fighting about?
Do we have that lost? Do we lose our attention span that quick?
Look, squirrel.
Oh, hey. This is a PSA.
Oh, you.
I was out of town for 2 days. I come home yesterday. I go to move my truck. Started up. It's running rough. I'm like, shit. So I go check it out, hook it up, hook the ODB scanner and see if it's got, what codes or everything. Put it back in the driveway, open the hood up. No shit. A nest on both sides of the engine. Yeah. I start tearing all that stuff out of there. They had chewed through the wire for coil for cylinder 1.
Oh my!
And also chewed through for one headlight. Yeah, and chewed it. Didn't just chew it in half. Chewed it down at the base of the harness. So anyway, I start tearing all the stuff out of there. It's all down on the driveway and everything. And then I went back out later because I thought, well, let me see if I can at least I'll find the wires and buy them, and I'll just splice it in myself. So I go back out there, get in the truck. It's parked in the back under an oak tree, And as I'm doing this, I look around and I see a squirrel go up the tree and it's stopping and it's just barking at me like crazy. And it just keeps going. And so I lunge at it like this and it goes up the tree a little bit. And so we kept doing that back and forth. And it's bitching me out like some old woman and it is just the whole time, all the way up the tree. My daughter comes outside. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Listen." And this squirrel's just going at it. She's like, "What's wrong with that squirrel that does it up the tree, across the limb, jumps in there the whole time? It won't shut up." And I said, "I pissed it off." It's like, clearly that was that squirrel's nest that I tore out from inside the truck because it was pissed. So I moved my squirrel traps down to the base of the tree right by the truck. And then I sprayed fox urine around the truck just so keep it away from it. Anyway, I came over today to double check. Squirrel in the squirrel trap next to the truck, and I hope the hell it was that noisy son of a bitch that was going crazy on me. So my PSA though is because of the soy that they wrap all those the wiring in. Not everyone's accommodating about replacing all that, but you can put things under your hood and electrical devices and whatnot. Mothballs, dryer sheets, and there is a peppermint spray that they say that you can use. That at least they don't reek, that you can put under your vehicles, especially if you're parking under trees. Bigger vehicles, it's a lot easier for them to get into. But this is my second incident with those little sons of bitches. I
have one comment. You said ODB scanner, and my head is thinking immediately, old dirty bastard scanner. Wu-Tang is for the children, y'all.
It is. Now the question is, can you recite all of the members?
Back to you like that.
you
totally... instead of just showing a code, man. If it just did that, yeah,
right.
Yeah, no, it was anyway, yes, that was my fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. God damn, I hate when my phone doesn't always. You know what? You put people's numbers in before the area code at one point, and now you need that to dial, and now people's numbers and names don't quite correlate, and you have to adjust that shit. I'm just frustrated with that. So that's all right. That's my bad.
These are the things that grind our gears tonight.
Yeah, like I'm already on there.
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll say this since you're talking about things that piss us off. I'll tell you about my really bad liquor store experience. Mm-hmm. So 1792 Foolproof comes out. It just comes out.
Barrel proof.
Foolproof. Scotch Test Dummies did their show on it. I just watched the show that just came out. It was new. They're down in Wichita. Kansas is obviously different than Missouri. I thought, I'm going to go look that stuff up. I hit the main place I went to. Of course, they didn't have it yet. Took my name down. They're going to check into it. Check my second place. Same thing. They're like, you know what? We'll talk to the distributor and see if we can find that stuff. I hit this place that I'd never been to before. I walk into it because I always figured it was more of a beer store. But I go and I walk into this place. Now, 1792 it exists. It was on the shelves. It had already been in at least one YouTube review, and I don't think that Scotch Test Dummies were the first ones to review it. I go walk into the store, and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for 1792 Foolproof." There's 2 guys in this store, so they pull this bullshit. Swear to you, this is the truth. Guy's like, "What do you mean with that one? I don't know if I got that." And I said, "No." I said, "I just saw a thing on it. I know, and I put my name in. I'm just curious. I'm trying to find it, etc." He goes to the other guy. Hey, this guy here says he's looking for 1792 Foolproof. About that place, I tell him that story. It's like, I've spent some money on liquor in my life. Not one damn dime of it has ever been at that place, nor will it ever be at that place.
Well, hey, that's another thing when I'm not a big.
And if you're in Kansas City,
online,
I'll tell you which place it is.
But you're not going to do it online. Come on.
It's a place on 63rd Street east of Oak. I'll say that, and you can look it up. It's not the place that shares a name with me because that place is great. I'll say that much.
I hope
they get. Well, never mind. I'm not going. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, I'm sure everyone out there can find it.
Yeah, look it up.
Right.
Anyway,
maybe I shouldn't be pushing it, but 63rd.
I've been drinking some stuff that I've ordered online tonight.
You can't be for sure because on there's on 63rd, there's like 3 liquor stores, so it could be Mike's Wine and Liquor or Brookside Wine.
Nope, I said it's not. It's not the place that shares a name with me.
No, it's not. Then, well, it's not the 7-Eleven. Then there's.
It is not the 7-Eleven.
It's not 7-Eleven.
I can guarantee you, it is not the 7-Eleven.
Just down the road from Popeyes. I don't know. BWS, man. Damn, that must have been it. That's my bet. Is that am I right? Little BWS on there.
Maybe.
And yes, Alan, I will punch you in the dick for that text. Holy shit. Fucking gross. Sorry, folks. I would put that up online, but we would get kicked off fucking YouTube. Yeah, I shouldn't start.
Would we get kicked off though? I mean,
probably not.
We probably would. There's far worse stuff on YouTube, but
well, that would be like the weird argument. Like, look at all this trash. Look at how many episodes have a Kardashian in it, and you're getting rid of.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, reality show trash on there.
Oh, Tim, that was. We're not even getting into that.
There was a time.
There was a
that
time.
Happened.
There was a time.
We should do it. We should do a barrel pick of something that instead of saying that on there, all it says is, "What's the capital of Thailand?"
I'm just already thinking of the tater sticker for that one.
Oh, we could have so much fun,
right?
We love the wrench. Thanks for taking care of us.
She's a beautiful person.
Oh, foot porn. Okay, we're in the realms of I don't care. Foot porn is way worse than Harold versus Depp.
Well,
Harold versus Depp is just an in-look into some people acting weird and fucking just not.
She sounds like a trash.
Who the fuck shits on someone's pillow?
He's weird. He's weird and goofy, but she just sounds like a trash person.
She's just not right.
Right.
What did she? Okay, I don't know. Chat, you're gonna have to. What did she do before she met Johnny Depp?
Who cares?
Was she a model or something?
Who
well,
cares?
That's my best bet. But what did she do? I don't know.
I don't know. She was on Aquaman.
Thanks, Alan. Was she really? I
Yes.
don't. Did anyone watch Aquaman?
I did.
Like
We saw Aquaman.
Yeah, I took my boys to see it.
Okay, weird.
It's not the worst thing in the world,
right?
But the little bit of that show that was in the Snyder cut of Justice League, way better.
Oh yes, by far.
That Snyder cut, it's pretty good. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But whatever.
Aquaman. I don't know. You just broke my. I'm lost. Just the whole.
I was grabbing a glass tonight, and this is my youngest got me this for Christmas because in Step Brothers when Derek gets punched and he falls out of the tree and he's like whining and they go, "Hey Derek, you know what's good for shoulder pain? If you lick my butthole." And so Marge got me this glass that says, "Hey Dad, you know what's good for whiskey?"
I like your daughter.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh. That's funny.
So anyway, I'm done ranting about stuff.
All right. That's fine. But I like the end of the show rants. There was another one off that. I'm going to have to keep like a little note to keep my tangent rants like going. It's just like in college where it's like you're in a debate team, you hear some shit, and you're like, oh, fucking, I want to get onto that. Right. Write that down, like wait for them to get done. I'm like, I'm coming back to this shit. Like if I don't do that, fuck, lost. When you're talking about fox urine. Sorry, that's where I was in the chat for spinning down.
Yeah. It smells like a hell, but man, it works for keeping the rabbits and stuff out of your garden. Just don't spray it when there's wind. That's from personal experience.
We have real things to promote. We have real things to promote for next week.
We do before we get off there.
we do before we get off the air, and we'll be posting about it and tell your friends about it. It is our second installment in our bartender series. Ben has hooked us up with Madison. Tell us a little bit more, because this was down in your old former neck of the woods.
Right.
And we had been, good for her and Madison, because we have been trying forever to get anyone on from there. Like fucking ridiculously trying hard to get someone from anyone on from there to explain some stuff. But she's going to come on. We're talking cocktails.
Right.
And her involvement with what's there. Sorry, Ben, I'm going to shut up. Kick it off, because I know you've met her in person and you've thought very highly of her cocktail skills.
Yeah, no, she's so she started working there as a bartender. 6 and 20 moved locations. Their original distillery site, they still own it. They're using that for barrel storage mainly, but they moved to a new place near downtown Greenville, which is just a fantastic little cosmopolitan city. If you're in South Carolina, Greenville's a great place to see. But they just really opened up their bar scene. They have a great little bar area, and Madison was there as a bartender. They're really keen on creating their own cocktails and coming up with their own stuff, and we're doing a great job. She got promoted to the manager over that, and they've just have really taken off with live, having a lot of live music, a lot of events, doing a lot of things that even from here, I'm excited about seeing. Every week they're announcing something, and it's like, damn it, I wish I was there to take part, or to participate a little bit. So, but it became my go-to. It became my go-to bar for cocktails when I was there. They just, their spirits are good, and what they were doing with their whole cocktail thing was fantastic. So, she's going to come on and talk with us about what they're doing at 6 and 20 and talk cocktails and that whole thing. So I'm excited. She's, just a very creative, very cool person, and I think you guys will enjoy chatting with her. So,
and I think we're hitting her at a unique point. I'm not sure she hasn't had that point in a career before, but as a bartender, where you're doing what you're doing, you're creating unique experiences for people as they come in with what at a craft distillery is using. So you're selecting from only like say 8 to 10 bottles. Really, you're like, okay, I got this. How do I work off of this? And based off of that, they're seeing her quality. And I know it was because we saw a lot of the cocktails that they had been putting out over the summer.
Right.
Really nice looking. Not just like, I assume they taste good.
Right.
You backed up, but they look sharp. They look like they've been done well. And to see that person kind of hit that next stage of elevation, we're trying to hit that at that point. Which is a neat perspective, because it's someone just getting to the point of taking over the other side of a distillery, because the other side of the distillery that really makes people money is the food and beverage side on the other side of it.
Yeah. So
that's almost just as important as the distilling side of it to making a distillery work in today's world. So I think we're hitting that at a neat point where it's like, okay, I'm getting power, I'm getting control, but you're getting power and control for the right reasons. And the people that you're working for respect you for what you're doing, built on what you did. Speaking from former jobs, that doesn't fucking always happen. So, I like where they're headed. I like what they're doing. I think I think it's a really interesting time and place for that distillery.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be. They're on the verge of hitting a next tier. So, whew. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, it is. There's other people in the chat right now, Tim, that will agree with that. I mean, you need to have that other side. I mean, it's all about giving you the money to move forward. I mean, how many distilleries do you see that don't have the other side anymore? It's almost gone. Hell, everyone's tapped into that banquet facility type section of things. Fuck. All right, let's see here. Oh shit! Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. Just checking some chat comments. I rambled.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's been an hour and a half. We probably had it.
Yeah. Aquaman though, like, it's a terrible character. Like, really, I don't know where I was with disliking the movie and issues beforehand, but I don't
Also,
like it.
one of the best Aquaman
Oh,
scenes.
one
One of the best Aquaman scenes was at the end of the Peacemaker. If you've seen the Peacemaker, you know what I'm talking about. If you've not seen the Peacemaker, then forget.
Yeah,
I haven't. I was gonna say that I got more excited about the Aquaman that was on Entourage than the Aquaman that happened in real life. Like, I kind of hope they would have taken that off and jumped to the next level.
Or the take on
done a
Aquaman
real movie.
The take on Aquaman in The Boys. That's even better.
What? Oh, I don't know the subplot of that. So
never mind.
Line that out now.
All right.
70% of the world is water. That's why. Thank you, Mitch. Okay.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch. I think that's good. We've stayed on. We've clearly jumped off the side track.
right.
But we stayed on focus for like an hour. Like, that was pretty good. First hour.
We had a solid 36 minutes.
Is that when Ben showed back up?
No.
I dropped in and it all went to hell.
Yeah.
But stop in next Monday night because it will be a really fun night. I think we might be working on a cocktail. We may or may not. If we do, we will put it out there to give you time to grab what you need for it because I think it's going to be a really exciting show. Exactly, Shannon. Anyone else? I'm so happy someone else got that. Sorry. Shannon's on par with me. That would have been a much better movie. Okay. And on that note, we'll let everyone go. Remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone out there.
Cheers.
Oh, or not, though. I don't have that set up. You're going to have to give me a second. Unless Mike can beat me to it. Do you have the power? I don't.